Hey everybody, it's Chris at Oak Street Garden Shop in Crestline Village. Today I want to talk to you about a great foliage perennial called Heuchera. I bet in some parts of the country they might say Heuchera. I don't know, we call it Heuchera. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Heuchera, and then I'm going to show you some planters that we've used it in. I love Heuchera because it is a foliage plant, and everybody who knows me knows I really like leaves in planters because they can add color, they can add texture. They just are really, really wonderful for blooms to play off of. So Heuchera in the south, I feel like in my garden anyway, does better for me in planters. It needs good drainage. I think the best time to plant Heuchera is either in the fall or the very early spring. If you plant it in the fall, it handles our winters very nicely. It will get knocked back with freezes. It will get tattered leaves that you have to clean up in the spring. Just have that in the back of your mind that you know you're going to have to do that. And in the spring, it also shows off with some really airy little blooms. And this one's actually throwing off some blooms right now. There are so many different kinds. This one is called Grape Timeless. And maybe it's timeless because it blooms all the time. I don't know. But it's really a beautiful plant. For Heucheras, if in the spring going into summer it starts to struggle a little bit, don't be surprised. Our heat, our humidity tend to make it struggle just a little bit. Another thing that will happen with Heucheras that you need to understand is that if, for example, you have it in the ground or even in a planter, after a number of years, it may begin because of frost, freeze, warmth, cycles tend to push itself up out of the ground. You'll see that and it'll look really funny. It'll look like there's almost like a stalk on it coming out of the ground. When that happens, or out of your pot, when that happens, go ahead and pull it out gently and reposition it down a bit. Add some potting soil around it. It won't hurt it. It will help it. It's just that freeze thaw action that kind of messes it up. So what have we done with them? I've got 3 different planters and I basically just put some different plants together to show you the colors. This particular one right here has got one called Timeless Glow. That's the one with the chartreusey green leaf. And it is going to have a pinkish bloom in the spring, really beautiful. And then we've got another one right here, and you can see the bloom on that one too. This one's called Timeless Treasure. You see the beautiful leaves. And then in this, I just added a little bit of angel vine, and there's a tiny little viola there, which is going to fluff out and come out through this pot along with a little white pansy. So Heucheras, again, combine with blooms, combine with other foliage. You see the smaller leaf right here with the larger leaf of the Heuchera. Always think about that when you're putting pots together, okay? You always want to think about foliage as well as blooms. So let's look at this one over here. In this one, we have, and I don't remember the name of this one, but there's 2 here. You see how that darker leaf is echoed, that color is echoed in that smaller one right there. That's called a color echo. And it's a really kind of fun thing to do when you're putting plants together. And this one I also added a little viola and a tiny little bit of creeping Jenny right there to spill out over the edge. So there's the first 2. And the last one, we've got one called Indian Summer Orangeberry. That's this leaf right here. And then this is Grape Timeless, another one that's throwing off some blooms in the fall, which is a little unusual. You think of these blooming in the spring, but it's kind of fun to see the blooms in the fall too. And then this is a plant right here, a little carex called Toffee Twist. It's really not dead. It is alive. This is the color, why it's called Toffee Twist. And I love using it. It's one that might be a little bit of one that you have to get used to, but I like it. Little viola with that as well. And that gives you an idea right there of the depth of leaf color in this genus. Here, there's even some extra ones right here if you want to focus on that. But Heucheras are really interesting plants. I hope you try them. I know sometimes I think people don't really understand how to use them. I hope this helps. Come see us. We've got a good many in stock right now. We're here from 9 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday.